Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Amplify with Amanda Sapp. I am your host, Amanda Sapp, and this show is where we share inspiring stories, life lessons, and motivation to help you live with purpose, power, passion. Whether you're chasing your goals, looking for a fresh mindset, or just need a boost to start your day, you're in the right place. Today, we have a truly, truly special guest whose music speaks directly to the soul. He's a celebrated jazz saxophonist and multi-instrumentalist, equally at home on tenor, alto, and soprano, saxophones, clarinets, and flute, mentored by legends like John Coltrane, Grover Washington Jr., and David Sanborn. He spent decades perfecting a sound that blends technical mastery with deep emotional expression. His latest single, I Told You So, is a testament to storytelling through music, capturing life's experiences in every note. Please welcome onto our amazing stage here today, Charles Langford, Grand Rising.
Thank you for having me.
So glad to have you here with me today. If you could give me 3 words that best describe you.
3 words. Passionate, steadfast, and faithful.
I love that. I love that. Today, we're going to talk about your versatility as an instrumentalist, your mentorship and legacy, and also your authenticity through music. My first question to you is, I know jazz has always been a language of emotion. I feel that way as well. How do you decide what story you're telling when you pick up an instrument?
Well, I try to just live in the moment, and what I'm feeling, I try to convey. If I'm happy, I try to be as positive. I try to be positive. I start my day on my knees praying, and so I just try to go through life that way, just trying to be positive and to look to the future and all the good things. So that's what when I'm approaching the saxophone, I try to be humble and let the music speak, and try not to get in the way of it and try to let it just flow.
Love that. Now, being mentored by legends like John Coltrane and Grover Washington Jr., what lessons have stayed with you the longest?
Being true to the music, and letting the music, because when I'm gone, what's going to remain is my legacy, the music, and so I try to be true to that and try to just play as best as I can, be prepared all the time. I practice daily and just try, and that's what I do. That's one of the things that I think that I've learned from the masters. Is to be faithful, to it.
Now, when they were mentoring you, did you recognize the greatness that was in front of you at the time, or how did that feel in that time?
Well, I didn't study directly with John Coltrane or Grover Washington. But John Coltrane, I worked with Archie Shepp and Yusuf Lateef, who are direct, they're friends of him, and I listen to their music, and that's the mentorship that John inspired in me. Archie Shepp was a direct descendant of Train, and I hearing the stories, firsthand of what, how to go about doing certain things, how to approach music, that's where I got it from.
I love that. I love that. Now, how has mastering multiple instruments changed the way you listen to music and life?
I don't know if I mastered any of them. I'm working on them. I practiced them. I just keep at it. I'm just trying to get better at them. But I approach each one as its own instrument. Even like the saxophones are all the same. As far as fingerings, pretty much. And blowing. But and the calling of the notes, but I treat them all differently. They all have their own voice, so that's, I don't know.
I love that. Now let's talk a little bit about "I Told You So." I know it feels deeply personal. What moment or emotion sparked that record?
I don't know if I try not to be too emotional when I'm writing. I mean, unless it's, I don't know if I was really emotional when I wrote it. It was more of just, the melody came, and it just came, and it's one of like Quincy Jones says, like the music. I mean, we don't own the music; it just comes through us. That's God speaking through me, and it's just coming. It just comes, and I just try to be ready for it when it comes, and be able to let it flow. And the title came from, just striving to do better, and despite what other people may think of the music, I told you so. It's my, this is what it is. This is, I don't know if that helps.
It does help. It does help. I mean, describing something that isn't necessarily in words, sometimes people have to kind of like be in that moment or in that. It's almost like a spell that's just taking over you. It's why music is such a universal language, because it doesn't matter if you're what language you speak, it's the way that it comes to you and moves through you. I oftentimes wonder as an instrumentalist, like, what type of zone do you need to be in? Are you listening to something that inspires that? Like,
Oh yeah.
what is your mood?
I mean, I know. When I was writing the bridge, I was thinking, like this guy behind me, Charlie Parker. I was thinking about, I wonder what he might play on that, and then, and I, then try to put my taste on it or whatever, just little things, those kind of, I try to keep it in the tradition, and also, because I have roots in R&B. I love American Black, music. And so I love classical music. I listen to all kinds of things. So I just try to be a vehicle for the music, and try not to get in the way of it so much. Let it flow.
Now, in an era of fast music consumption, how do you protect the soul of jazz?
Mm.
Do you even feel it's your responsibility? Is it more about I'm in my flow doing my thing, and if people catch it, they catch it?
Well, I mean, I just try to be true. I've studied, and I've listened, and I've been mentored by the greats, the founders of this music, of jazz music. Some of I've been very blessed, fortunate. I've studied with so many greats, Donald Byrd, and that name comes to mind, and Barry Harris, and some. It's just, I feel that music. I just try to be true. I just try to be true, and not sound fake. I just try to be true, be myself as much as I can. Try not to sound like anybody else, and be as honest as I can with it.
As we're talking about you just being true to yourself, what sacrifices did you have to make to remain authentic in your musical journey?
Trying not to. I mean, like Grover is one of my main influences growing up, and I don't want to sound like him per se, because I don't want, he's got his own voice, and I want people to know this is me, not that I try to copy him. But I just try not to use certain things. Like, I mean, I know a lot of things, how he might play it, and I just go, I'm not going to do that. That's him. So I'm going to use my take on what he might do. or just try not to be. Same with like Joe Henderson. He's one of my big influence as well, and I tried not to, because there was a moment in my playing when I was younger that I felt like I sounded too much like him, so I had to change my sound. I felt so, and I didn't want to sound like someone else. I want to be me. So I was just
Okay.
searching.
Yeah. How do you balance technical mastery with emotional vulnerability in your performances? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so I think the technique is really important, and having a foundation in the blues is crucial for being able to and church, playing, for the Lord, that is a way of doing it as well. I wasn't raised playing in church, but I have played in church, but I grew up playing the blues, and I think the blues is crucial for music to have emotion if you're playing true, from your heart. So I think that especially for American music, it's a necessity to be able to play the blues.
Okay. Another question for you here. What does empowerment sound like to you when translated through music?
Could you repeat that?
Sure, sure. What does empowerment sound like to you? If you could give it a description, a word, what does it sound like to you when translated through music?
Unapologetic, and this is, I mean, just putting it out there that this is the way this is what it is. I think of Marvin Gaye, I think of James Brown, John Coltrane, those are that's I think of just being true, just that sound of unapologetic. This is what I am, and this is,
I love that. I love that. Now, if your music could speak directly to someone in a season of uncertainty, what would it say?
don't give up. Help is on the way. It's things. This too shall pass. It's only a brief moment, and the best thing is just right around the corner. That's what I would say. That's what I'm hoping that it says.
Now, looking back at your journey, how has music shaped the man you are today beyond the stage?
I guess I can see beyond just the look, and I try to not, I try to look beyond the glitter and the glamour and the look at what's actually being said and what's actually being presented, as opposed to what the facade is.
Right.
I guess
Mm-hmm.
unmasking fakeness. I guess that's one of the real things that I think that it opened my eyes to being a jazz musician.
What you're saying, it goes across all genres, all industries. It's solid insight to anybody who is either starting their own thing or part of a group or just getting in the entertainment industry overall. I think everything that you've said today kind of speaks to anyone who is just curious as to how to find their way. And from what I'm wrapping up here with you today is to just stay true to yourself. And what you need, what you do, what will happen for you. Not to you or against you, but for you. So
yeah, the universe has got your back. The universe has got your back.
Exactly.
Yeah, just go do it.
Listen, as we wrap this interview up with you today, Mr. Langford, please leave us with something inspiring, something that can help us get through just today.
Oh, wow. Be good to one another. Life is short, and just enjoy every moment. It's a beautiful day, so enjoy it.
Mr. Charles Langford, also go ahead and tell us how we can find you, how we can get in touch with you, and follow your movement.
You can go to my website, charleslangfordmusic.com, and you can find out where I'm going to be performing and all that good stuff, my releases and everything.
Charles Langford, thanks for being my guest here today on Amplify with Amanda Sapp. Really appreciate you, your time, and everything that you're putting out into the world.
Thank you, Amanda. It was a pleasure being on your show. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you and all your success in your new project.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you.